Hi, everybody. This is Jeff Adams from the Icebox Radio Theater, coming to you very, very early on a Monday morning to welcome you and thank you for downloading yet another podcast here from Radio Icebox. We're real busy around here. Of course, it's the end of September, getting on towards October and Halloween. Want to let you know that if you listen to a public radio station, you might let them know about Listening in the Dark. That's our series of radio broadcast programs. And there's a new one this year called Creature Feature, which includes all kinds of very fun and slightly scary stuff that might be appropriate for your public radio station. Just let them know that at prx.org, if they search for Listening in the Dark, they could put some scare on the air this Halloween. Thanks again for downloading this podcast. And again, if you do have any questions or comments or criticisms, because we enjoy those as well, the email address is home@iceboxradio.org.
Following audio drama is rated PG for parental guidance.
Are you sure they're mice?
What else would they be?
About anything. Some of the old insulation makes great nesting materials for birds, rats, chipmunks.
It wouldn't be birds.
Why not?
It's nearly October, and the birds are looking to fly south. This is probably mice making their winter nests. Here, let me show you. See? It's these cables here.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. That does look like mice.
Uh-huh.
What do these cables lead to?
No idea. But I'm pretty sure they lead to something. Grandpa didn't lay any cable without a purpose.
He really built this station by himself?
From the ground up. First transmitter was an old Army surplus. Of course, we've changed out so many parts, it's almost like it's brand new.
Where does one get an Army surplus transmitter?
Grandpa was in the Royal Marines. Signal Corps.
Oh, so he was Canadian?
What difference does that make?
Oh, nothing. What do you want to do about all these cables?
Well, I think we need to splice here and here, then solder a new piece. We've got plenty of the old coax to splice.
Okay.
Shouldn't take us more than 20 minutes, and the station could run on backup generators for that long. You start prepping the cuts, and I'll run downstairs and start the generator.
Okay.
Won't be a minute.
And take your time. Cody? Who's there? Cody? If you're trying to scare me, it isn't funny. Honestly. Oh, that's it. Cody, if this is some kind of prank, it's not funny. If you keep this up, you're just gonna have to find yourself another intern. You hear me? Cody? You know, this isn't very nice, playing pranks. I'm glad to help around here, but I don't feel very welcome right now. You hear me? Do you hear me?
Get out.
I guess he heard me. Cody!
And I think, a pretty good show, especially for October. Abby?
What?
Would you like to make any notes?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Cody, how do the recordings sound to you?
Great. I think this is going to be one of the best Halloween shows we've ever done.
Well, I'm still hoping to do that vampire story for Halloween itself.
Right, I know. But it's nearly October, and people like spooky stuff this time of year.
Oh, you bet. How are the repairs in the attic coming?
Fine.
Fine?
Yes, fine.
Ha!
Jennifer, did you have something you wanted to add?
Of course not. I'm just a new girl who has to go through hazing without any warning.
I'm sorry, is something wrong?
No. Why would anything be wrong?
Because it kind of sounds like...
I mean, hazing me, that's expected. But the way you all pretended you didn't do it, that's just cruel. I came here and offered my services as a free intern, and you reward me with this?
Cody, why is Jennifer mad?
I don't know. She's been like this all day.
Okay, Jennifer, what's wrong?
Nothing. I told you, nothing is wrong. Nothing.
Abby, could you possibly...
Are you talking to me now?
What?
Because I thought we were ignoring each other.
I've been talking to you all day.
I know. Abby, where's that thing? Where's that paper? How many stamps do we have left? You've been talking to me nonstop.
What did I do?
Well, if I have to explain that, then I guess there's really no hope, is there?
I don't know how to answer that, but I suspect the correct answer is yes.
Well, if you feel that way, enjoy the rest of your day.
I don't know what to say.
How about meeting adjourned, jerk?
So that just happened.
What? Help.
Well, don't ask me about Jennifer, because she's been like that ever since the attic this morning. But as for Abby, didn't you two have a date last night?
Yes, I thought it went fine.
Really? What did you do?
Nothing. We had a pizza delivered to the office, and we sat down very nicely, and she asked me how my day was, and that reminded me about this problem with the budget. I'd been meaning to ask her about it, so we talked about the budget for 2 or 3 hours, and, I think I see what I did there.
Well, that settles your problem.
No, I don't think I'd call it settled.
I'd start by apologizing to her.
Ooh, that's good.
Then maybe take her on a real date where you don't ask about problems in the budget.
Okay. So what do you do for a real date in the icebox?
Well, in the summer, you can take her for a boat ride, but it's a little chilly on the lake this time of year.
Okay.
How about ice cream and a walk along the beach?
Isn't it a little too chilly for that?
Yes, but this is Icebox. You gotta draw the line somewhere, or we'd never leave our homes.
Point. Okay, I have a plan of action. Now let's talk about your problem.
Oh, I'm fine.
I mean your problem with Jennifer.
Well,
What? What is it?
I'm not sure we're going to work out.
Oh, I should say not if you don't do anything. She was really mad.
Yeah, that was perplexing.
Perplexing?
It doesn't fit the profile.
The profile of what?
I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because, well, I can't tell you that yet.
Cody, what's going on?
I need to do a little more recon, but let's just say I have my concerns about Jennifer. She may not be what she seems.
I'm beginning to get concerns about you. Is everything okay?
I can handle it.
Because you seem a little bit crazy right now.
Crazy like a mole.
You mean crazy like a fox?
No, a mole. Have you ever seen those things? They're insane.
Here are some area events of interest in the Icebox region. The Icebox Municipal Library and Liquor Store will begin its fall lecture series with a talk on the great alcoholics of literature. Due to the width and breadth of the subject, the lecture will be held on 3 consecutive nights, beginning Monday night with Lushes of 18th Century Letters. Tuesday, the program will continue with Ladies of the Grape, a look at great drinking writers with ovaries, and finally, Wednesday night will be dedicated to Ernest Hemingway. The Icebox Antique Club will be holding a distressing party on Thursday evening at the garage shop of Edgar and Barb Levitt. Any area residents interested in learning the fine art of antiquing new furniture are invited to attend so long as they bring $20 and are willing to prove their mettle with either a death race out to Dead Man's Point or a wrestling match in the Cage of Sorrows currently set up in Edgar's backyard. An offering of baked goods is also acceptable.
Okay, Abby, can I get a level?
Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Peas and carrots.
Okay, sounds good.
It does. You're in great voice today.
Still not talking to you.
Right. Did I say I was sorry?
Guys, could we keep it focused, please? I still have to get this show edited by tonight.
Well, we can't start without Jennifer.
I'm here.
So nice of you to join us.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was tied up.
Well, thank you for helping us out. I know acting really isn't your thing.
What gave you that idea?
Oh, don't mind him. He just jumps to all kinds of wild conclusions about what people like.
Pardon?
Don't go on a date with this one unless you bring your abacus.
My what?
What I meant to say is I thought you said you didn't like acting and you had stage fright.
Oh, I do. Terrible. But this is studio acting. No audience in sight, so I'm fine. It's kind of fun, really.
Well, it would be with the right people.
Jennifer, could I get you on mic, please? I need a level.
Well, I don't think...
Jennifer, you can be furious at me on your own time. Right now, I need this scene.
Well, okay.
It's okay. He gets this way when he's directing.
I didn't expect him to be so forceful.
I know, it's a cross to bear.
No, it's just so difficult to stay mad at him.
I can still hear you, Jennifer.
Oh, right. Level, 1, 2, 3. Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Okay, got it. JJ?
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Good.
Check.
That's
Okay.
good. Okay, everyone, could we go from page 15?
Before we start, I'd like to ask a question.
Sure, what's up?
Did you guys try and haze me this morning?
What?
Did you try and pull a prank on me when I was up in the attic early today?
No, we've never hazed anybody.
Cody, did you?
Not sure what you're talking about.
Did something happen in the attic?
Yes. No. I don't know.
Honey, you're shaking.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I was all upset with Cody because I thought he was pulling a prank on me.
I'm coming in. Hang on.
Now I don't know anything for sure.
But something happened, right?
What's going on in here?
Take it easy. Can't you see she's upset?
She is. Darn it. She was supposed to be the hero in this scene.
I'm sorry. I'll get it together.
No, it's okay. Tell us what happened in the attic.
Is it about the mice?
No. Well, I don't... I heard something.
Heard something.
Yes, I heard a noise and then a voice.
I don't understand.
I thought it was a prank. I mean, this is a radio theater. I figured you had all kinds of sound effects and vocal processors and stuff, and I thought you were just trying to haze a new girl until everyone seemed to be ignoring me what happened. So I got mad and Cody for torturing me, and then Abby was mad too, and I just... Yeah.
It's all right.
Wait, you followed all that?
You be quiet. There was no hazing. There's never been hazing.
We've never really had anyone to haze before. And we wouldn't anyway.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, that takes care of everything except what she heard.
Yeah. What did it sound like?
You sure you guys weren't playing a prank or something?
Of course we're sure.
What did you hear?
It sounded like a ghost.
A what?
I knew you wouldn't believe me.
No, it's not that. It's just, I don't know what I mean.
What's the matter with you all of a sudden?
Oh, I don't know. I was hoping we could have an average level of crazy without adding ghosts to the mix.
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Sure, why not?
You can't be serious.
Are you serious?
What?
What are you saying, Abby? Are you saying I'm imagining everything?
No, of course not. It's just, well, there's no such thing as ghosts.
Shh, you'll anger them.
Tell me, did the ghost just make noise, or did you hear words?
He made noise, and then there were words.
Let me guess. Get out?
Yes, that's what I heard.
That's what they always say in the movies, too.
What?
Calm down. JJ, we have a problem.
What is it?
This building has a little bit of a history. If we don't take care of it soon, it's going to be impossible to get any work done around here.
Okay, what's going on?
No.
Yes.
Don't tell him that story. There's no proof.
Jennifer heard what she heard, and that's good enough for me. JJ, I've got bad news. Rudiger's back.
Where
Time now for news headlines from the Radio Icebox newsroom. After an extensive legal appeal from the county attorney's office was denied earlier this week, Mrs. Albert Lewis's cat, Benedict Cumbermeow, will be allowed to serve on city council after all. The 3-year-old Tom, with black and white markings, won his seat in a runoff with incumbent Einar Bement last fall. All attempts to prove the cat's candidacy and subsequent election were a hoax have been disproven, so it seems the local Icebox City Council will have representation from the animal community for the first time since 1989. In other news, Mrs. Audrey Bowers of 515 River Avenue called police to her home Thursday evening with a complaint about her cat, Mr. Taylor. Officers discovered a distraught Mrs. Bowers barricaded in her bedroom, with the feline in question sitting quietly outside her door, an expression of grim satisfaction on its face. Mrs. Bowers claims that the animal has been, quote, up to something for several weeks now, though she was unable to elaborate. Police took the cat into custody, then let it go free in the brush along Lake River. Soon thereafter, neighbors reported that Mrs. Bowers had gone to live with her sister in the Twin Cities, and that the cat, Mr. Taylor, along with several neighborhood strays, have moved into the house. Reports indicate they play loud music at night and are generally disrespectful to the neighborhood. When confronting Mr. Taylor, neighbors claim the cat used its paw to point at a hastily written will, which appears to leave the house to the problematic feline and his gang. Attempts to locate Mrs. Bowers in the cities have thus far been unsuccessful.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Do you have a better idea?
Yes, we go back to the studio and get the show recorded.
He just interrupted us.
Wait, are you saying that ghosts are real?
Why not? Everything else has gone wrong.
Yes, the ghost is real. Or real enough to worry about, anyway.
There's no such thing.
What do you mean, real enough to worry about?
Rutger von Houten. Trapper from way back. The story is he drowned in the lake in 1868.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Now he haunts the shore looking for the cabin he once shared with his lady love, Caroline.
That's so romantic.
Whom he murdered with a pickaxe.
Oh.
Some say the cabin was on the same spot where the opera house was built. So, he's supposed to haunt us here.
And why was I not told about this at the interview?
Because we did not wish to appear a bunch of superstitious hicks.
No, I would have believed you. My old high school was an 80-year-old building. The auditorium was supposed to be haunted by a student who committed suicide.
Did anyone ever see the ghost?
No. Mostly there were rumors about play props being moved, doors being opened by themselves, stuff like that. Honestly, it was good for the school. For a while, an English teacher talked the principal into running tours on the weekend to raise money for student council. Hey, we raised over $500 before the Baptists shut us down.
Oh, let me guess who that English teacher was.
Guilty.
Yeah, this isn't like that.
Well, it could be. Could be great for business. Hey, we run tours, we have T-shirts printed, get into the local haunted house registries.
Three times before, Rutger has haunted this building. First he is heard, then he is seen.
Ooh, good legend.
Then, whoever saw him turns up dead.
Oh.
Dead?
It's who saw him turns up dead, according to legend. You just heard him. Also, none of this is true.
A man named Gregory Dempsey fell from the roof of this building and broke his neck in 1929.
Oh, that's terrible.
It was also Black Tuesday. A lot of people were falling from buildings then.
Myth. Never actually happened.
It never happened on Wall Street. Happened plenty around the country.
Touché.
I don't want to work in a haunted radio station.
It's all right. It's okay. I've got it handled.
What do you mean handled?
I called the guy who deals with this kind of thing all the time.
Necromancer?
No, the ghost's landlord.
Hello? Anyone home?
Oh, not this again.
What? What's happening?
That's right, I forgot all about him.
Who? What's going on?
Dr. Graves is here. He owns Graves Manor over by the cemetery.
Is that a joke?
Hello, everyone. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Hi, Doc.
Cody, how's your grandfather?
Good. Gout's come back.
Have him come see me right away. I have a new herbal remedy I'd like to try. Hello, JJ. Are you settling into your new job?
Well, yeah, I've been here about 2 years now.
Has it been that long? Amazing. Oh, Abby, I have something for you.
Oh, thank you.
It's the latest from little Tina. I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will.
Is that a script?
Hello. I don't believe we've been introduced. I'm Robert Graves.
Jennifer Dundee. I'm just interning here.
Wonderful. We get so few new faces in town. And such a pretty face, too.
Oh, thank you. So you're a writer?
What?
The script. You handed Abby a script.
Oh, that's not mine. That's little Tina's. She's been dictating to me all month.
Your daughter?
No. One of the dead people who live in my house.
Oh.
Dr. Graves writes Gravedigger's Hour, one of our most popular features.
Oh, I don't write it, JJ. I never write. The spirits come to me. I just take dictation.
Your house is haunted?
Dear child, my house is Grand Central Station for the spirit world. Bit of a cliché, really, considering the place looks like a dilapidated mansion and sits next to a graveyard. But that's ghosts for you.
Has it seemed a little quiet around your place, Doc?
Oh, now that you mention it, yes. Is that something to do with why you called?
Mm-hmm. Rudiger's back.
Oh, that scoundrel. I've talked to him until I'm blue in the face, but I don't know what to do. I'm very sorry, JJ.
What exactly do you have to do with this?
Oh, didn't they tell you when you took the job?
They told me precious little when I took the job.
Well, Rudiger is one of my permanent residents. His usual spot is in the root cellar. Whenever he breaks out and comes back here to do his haunting, Cody calls me to fetch him back.
You can do that?
Of course. I just need a Ouija board, 2 dead chickens, some soil from Rudiger's grave, and a voice modulator with spring reverb.
I'll get the kit.
Good evening. The witching hour is upon us, and the spirits are getting restless. It's time again for the Gravedigger's Hour on Radio Icebox. Tonight, we feature a classic episode that hasn't been heard in some time. You might even say it's back from the grave. Originally recorded in front of a live audience in International Falls in 2005, tonight's tale is about a bitter old woman who moves into an isolated house only to discover it's already occupied. Tonight, we are proud to present The Dooms on The Gravedigger's Hour. Hear it? It always blows on my house. That wind. Whistling all the time. All the time. The house is empty now, but not for long. I can hear them.
Here we are. You see? The photos don't do it justice.
I think they were quite accurate. It's a lovely room.
If you like dark. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, Miss Parkins.
Miss Parkins, if you don't mind.
Oh, that's right. You said that. Forgive me, Miss Parkins. I'm just a little nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. You explained all about the house back in your office.
It's funny. I've been in the business for 20 years, and I've never had to show a haunted house before.
I don't believe in any ghost nonsense. If the dead were walking the earth, the Bible most certainly would have told us so.
Oh, you're right, of course. I guess I shouldn't have read Mr. Knott's book about this house.
I'm not familiar.
Samuel Fullerton Knott, the house's last owner. He was some kind of ghost expert, I guess. Wrote over 50 books on this subject, including 2 on this house alone.
And he lived here? You didn't mention that.
Well, I should look into this, of course, but the lawyer taking care of his estate said he didn't live anywhere for the last few years. He owned 5 or 6 houses around the world, but he didn't stay in any of them.
He stored his treasure on earth instead of heaven. That's why he wandered.
The houses were all supposed to be haunted. He traveled between them and did research.
Ooh, that devilish wind. Does it always blow like that?
Well, Well, the ocean is a quarter of a mile away with nothing but sand between it and us. There's a natural granite deposit right below us. That's what the house is built on. That's what allows it to be so isolated. It was built in 1896 by a timber lord named Augustus Rose. He wanted privacy above all, so when he found this spot in the middle of a dune sea, practically, he built on it.
Granite, you said? The foundation is granite?
Yes, a stone outcropping about 300 feet deep.
Oh, good. The Bible strictly forbids building a house with a poor foundation.
Yeah. Now, Miss Parkins, about the asking price.
Well, money is very little object for me, Miss Franklin. Father has left me a wealthy woman. I'm going to make this into a place where men and women of God can come on furlough.
Furlough?
Missionaries, of course. In the mission field, converting the heathen.
Oh, sure. My sister did that for a while. You know, I don't think they call them heathen anymore.
The asking price is too expensive, of course, but I could easily afford it.
Well, if you'd care to make a counteroffer now, I'm sure we could...
Is there someone upstairs?
I don't really know. That does sound like a rocking chair, doesn't it?
Well, there's not a stick of furniture down here. Is the upstairs furnished?
No. Miss Parkin, are you sure this is the house you want? There was a lovely two-door near the university.
Are you suggesting I would be frightened by a ghost story?
Oh, no, of course not. But don't you hear that? It sounds like it's coming from upstairs.
I hear nothing of the sort, and neither do you.
But it's right
there.
You did hear it, didn't you?
I would like to buy this house, Miss Franklin.
It doesn't feel right. This place doesn't feel right.
As I say, the original price is too high, but I'm sure I can knock them down a peg or two.
It's not just the sound. It's everything.
Miss Franklin.
I'm sorry. Are you sure? I mean, really sure? If something in this house doesn't want you to be here...
I will hear no more about ghosts. I have my Lord to protect me.
Protect you from what? I thought you said there was no such thing as ghosts.
Do you wish to sell this house or not?
Well, it is lovely, isn't it?
It's perfect.
So, everything's okay out there?
I told you, Miss Franklin, everything's just fine.
Okay, I'm just worried. The storm's kicked out all the power in town.
As I say, I am fine. The moving men have gone. It's my first night in my new home. What could be cozier than a little weather? The dunes is practically made for it.
What did you say? Something about dunes?
I've decided to name the place. It's called the Dunes.
Really? I never mentioned that to you?
Mentioned what?
That's funny. I could have sworn. Miss Parkin, the Dunes is the name of the house. The name Augustus Rose gave it.
Well, that's hardly a surprise, is it? The house is practically in the middle of a sand dune.
Of course.
At any rate, I am fine, and your offer of help is... Oh, there goes the phone. She was right. About the storm, anyway. Well, here you are, Cynthia. Your beautiful house, far away from the stain of sin, far away from everything. Now, none of that. No feeling sorry for yourself. Idle hands, after all. There. Better. You're acting silly. You're acting lonely, to tell the truth, as if Father weren't in a better place. Honestly, Cynthia, you behave as if he's gone. He's watching down on you right now from heaven. You don't hear that, Cynthia. Put it right out of your mind. You were in the room today. There's nothing in it. Not even a mouse turd. Oh, Cynthia, your language. What is that? What? It's nothing. That's what. Put that thought right out of your mind, Cynthia. What's that? Who's that? Who's there? There's someone in this house. You there! Get out of my house! Leave this instant! You hear me? You hear me? He's on the stairs. He's coming down the stairs. Okay, there's nothing there. Go look, and there will be nothing there. Get up, Cynthia. Get up. Oh. Father was right. You're nothing but a little fool to go to the stairs. There's nothing there. Go to the stairs.
Get out of my house.
Who are you?
Get out of my house, Cynthia.
Oh, my ankle. I heard it pop. I heard it. Oh.
Do you need a pillow?
I'm fine. Really.
Well, how about something else to drink?
I don't know how many times I need to tell you I'm fine, but I'm approaching my limit.
I'm sorry.
Don't snivel and don't slouch. It bothers me.
You remind me of an aunt I had.
Why are you here anyway, Miss Franklin? Is this some extra service your office provides?
Well, it was just with the men here today. I thought you might like some company. How is the remodel coming anyway?
It's fine, and I don't need any company.
Now, I happen to know a little about being a gal on your own. Company never hurt.
If it were only that, I might agree.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know what I mean. It's all over your face. You feel guilty.
Well, maybe I do. I had a bad feeling about selling you this house. That night you broke your ankle, I had a bad feeling.
It's a sprain, and it had nothing to do with you, and certainly nothing to do with ghosts.
I never suggested it did.
But that's what this is all about, isn't it? You've decided that Mr. Knott's awful books were all correct, and that you've sold me a haunted house. Therefore, you're filled with maudlin regret for putting the poor helpless old maid...
I never thought...
Helpless old maid through this ordeal. Well, there is no ordeal, I assure you.
You're a difficult person, Cynthia.
But if you insist on helping me, you could go upstairs and check on the workmen. It's difficult to manage from a wheelchair.
I'll do that.
Make sure they're dividing that sunroom right down the center, but I don't want the wall splitting the window.
I'll see to that. And Cynthia, try and get some rest.
I'd prefer Miss Parkin. Excuse me, you there,
It's Jeff.
Yes, Jeff. Could I have a word with you?
You're the boss.
Mm-hmm. How is the work proceeding?
Well, I think we got a day on framing, at least. Call it another day for sheetrock and plaster. Paint beyond that should be done by the weekend.
And it's going well? No problems? No unforeseen difficulties?
No, pretty simple job, especially for these guys. What you are paying made it real easy to get a good crew. When we're done, it'll look like this house was built with 2 extra bedrooms.
That's fine. I had something else.
Something wrong with your voice?
I don't wish that other woman to hear me. I need to ask you, how quickly could you remove the stairs?
Do what now?
The main staircase off the hall. How quickly could you remove it?
What do you want to do that for?
Never mind. How quickly?
You mean you want to leave the whole second floor with just the back stairs to reach it? That's crazy. We'd have to bring in beams, take the load off the floor upstairs, rip her out, and then you'll have a big old hole up there, not to mention a mess down here in the hall.
Yes, but how quickly?
Lady, I wouldn't do it. Beautiful old staircase like that? You take it out. You just leave a scar in the middle of this house.
Well, that's very poetic, but I have practical reasons for doing it.
What practical reasons?
Margaret, how long have you been there?
Who are you talking to?
What would possibly make you think about taking out those stairs?
The stairs aren't safe.
Lady, those are oak with pine 6 by beams underneath. When this house rots away and falls down, those stairs will be standing there by themselves.
Why would you want to take out the stairs, Miss Parkins?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Excuse me, I gotta get back to work.
You saw him.
What?
You saw Mr. Rose.
I don't know to whom you are referring.
Yes, you do. You saw someone at the top of those stairs, so you wanted them taken out.
That's preposterous! Of all the ridiculous stories to cook up at...
Cindy, I know this is difficult, but you should know. Legend has it that people who see Mr. Rose are destined to stay here.
Well, I can see this conversation is going to get us nowhere. I don't think I have to tell you, Miss Franklin, that your services as real estate agent are no longer required. The only thing you can do for me is to cease coming out here.
I'm only trying to...
You are only trying to ingratiate yourself to a wealthy woman, and it's very unappealing, I must say.
What?
I know why you're here. It's the money, isn't it? Selling houses isn't good enough for you. You're trying to get all my money besides.
When I met you, I thought maybe you were different. I thought maybe you weren't like all the others I'd met. So high and mighty with your religion, staring down at the rest of us like we weren't worthy to smell your...
Oh, that's enough.
Well, I can see now. Unfortunately, I can see it all now. You won't need to worry about me any longer, Miss Parkins. But there is something in this house, something malignant and even evil.
My lord protects me from evil.
Your lord didn't protect you from that ankle, did he?
I'm not going to sit around here and argue with an ignoramus. Get out of my house.
Take my advice. Either get out of this place or learn to pray harder. Or maybe just humbler.
Oh, get out. You there.
It's Jeff.
I don't care what it is. How much to take out the staircase?
Lady, I wouldn't do it for any price. It's not right.
What do you mean it's not right? You'll do it all right. This is my house, and I'll decide what's right, and you'll do what I say, or you'll have your little walking papers.
That's the way you want it? We get full pay.
You won't see a single...
You signed a contract, lady, and it was with our local. Take the union to court. You think it'll do any good, but don't think you'll get off without paying us.
You're fired. Do you hear me? Clear out your equipment this instant!
Got a vein there in your neck, and your color ain't so good.
Get out!
Sure, lady. We'll get out. We'll just let you sit here and rot. How about that? Oh, and in the meantime...
What? What are you doing?
Pushing your nice wheelchair over here by your precious stairs so you can do your sitting right close to them.
Move me back where I was this instant!
Bobby, Paulo, job's over. We've been fired. Get your stuff and bring it around back. I'll bring the truck around.
Hello? Is anybody here? Anybody?
Please don't go to any trouble, Cynthia.
I felt like cooking anyway.
But your ankle.
My ankle's fine. I've been out of that chair for a week. I've never felt better, and the day I couldn't cook for a man of the cloth
I haven't been called that in years.
is the day I hope the Lord takes me.
Perish the thought. Miss Parkin?
Call me Cynthia, Reverend. Everyone calls me Cynthia.
All right. I have to confess, this isn't just a social call.
Ah, I see what it is now. You'd like me to attend your church.
Well, of course, but...
I half expected the local ministers to come around once the word got out. A wealthy Christian woman would make quite a nice addition to your congregation.
Undeniably.
I'll tell you right now, I haven't decided where to go to church yet. Being laid up with this ankle has slowed me down some, but I intend to get into the village very soon. Which church was yours again?
I don't quite have a church at the moment, but I used to serve at St. Joseph's on Oak Street. There's a splendid priest there now, a charming woman named Barbara.
Oh, I don't care much for female ministers.
Well, just a thought.
You are retired, Reverend?
Yes?
What do you do with your time?
Visit like this.
Oh.
And I'm very interested in local history. This house you have, for example, it's quite a centerpiece.
Yes, I gather.
Do I understand that you tried to have the main staircase removed?
It's my house, isn't it? I have the right to do that if I wish.
Oh, I don't deny that. But there are historic considerations to take into account. I also understand that you saw Mr. Rose.
That is not funny, Reverend.
I did not intend it to be.
The real estate agent told me about that ridiculous ghost story.
Margaret? Charming woman. A credit to the community.
It's criminal, is what it is. I don't understand how someone can hope to sell houses telling frightening stories like that.
So, you did see something.
What if I did? The imagination, when not occupied by prayer, can be difficult to manage.
Well, our Mr. Rose is a particularly intimidating presence. It doesn't surprise me that you felt strangely about him.
You talk as if you believe these stories.
Oh, I do. Haven't I mentioned? I lived in this house for a short time. I had to leave once I saw Mr. Rose.
Of all the... That's wicked.
Now, Miss Parkin, please.
Ghost stories. You, a minister of God, believe in ghost stories.
There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in the minds of men.
That's not scripture. That's Hamlet.
So it is. Well, you cannot be a Christian and deny the spiritual world, Cynthia.
But ghost stories? Children's fairy tales? And what about heaven and hell?
What about them?
Well, if a body is dead, the soul must go to one or the other, not hang around the parlor like an unwanted guest.
Well, there are mysteries in the world, of course. And as for heaven and hell, think of it, Miss Parkin. Hell was only fire and brimstone and devils with pitchforks in Dante. Who's to say what eternal torment might be for each of us? Maybe being tied in a room, sitting, watching life go by and having to deal with the fact that you don't matter anymore. And you never will matter. And yet you can't leave.
Well, you're giving it some thought, I can tell.
A true heart is always searching for God's will, not deciding what it is in advance and sifting through dry pages for justification.
I think you had better leave now.
Think about what I've said.
I know what I believe.
Yes, that's the problem.
Just ignore it, Cynthia. Just ignore it. Ah! Mercy. You're not there. It's not happening. Do you hear me? You're not there.
Cynthia? I'm sorry, did I startle you?
How on earth did you get in here?
Well, I let myself in the back. I wanted to check on you.
You came through the storm to...
I was feeling guilty. I'd forgotten to mention this old wiring habitually goes out in storms.
Well, as you can see, it's all perfectly fine.
It seems I'm here just in time. Here, I happened to slip a candle into my pocket before I came over. There, that's not so bad.
My father's house. There was a fire when I was young. I detest candles.
Do you have a generator or a flashlight?
Flashlight? Somewhere. I'm not sure where I put it.
Well, at least take the candle to get yourself up to bed.
Bed? I'm not. I was reading. I suppose I should go to bed since, well, the lights are out.
You're frightened, aren't you?
No. The storm. It's getting on my nerves.
Well, then I'll sit with you for a while. So, how are things in the house?
You don't need to stay.
Nonsense. I feel we've become friends. Does that offend you?
Of course not. With my eyes on the Lord, the things of this world don't concern me.
Well, then tell me, why haven't you invited anyone in to stay here yet? The remodeling was done weeks ago.
Well, it's been difficult going into the village.
Cynthia, may I make an observation? You're afraid.
Afraid? I don't know what you mean.
You're afraid of this house, afraid of what people will think. You're even afraid of me, unless I'm very much mistaken.
You are mistaken. I am not afraid of anything. The Lord is my strength.
Oh, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I am not afraid.
Don't quote scripture at me. It sounds wrong coming from your mouth.
Well, it should. I don't believe it. Any more than you do.
What?
You don't believe any of it, Cynthia. Oh, it's a convenient excuse to lord it over people and justify your prejudices. It's a thick enough book that you can find justification for just about anything. People have, you know.
You and your blasphemous mouth can leave now. I don't need you here anymore.
You never did need me. I was never even invited. I just showed up.
That's right. So then just leave.
I couldn't leave, Cynthia. Leave you alone in the dark, the house creaking all around you.
What do you think you're doing here? Trying to scare me to death?
No, of course not. I'm not trying to scare you at all. Get up, Cynthia.
What do you mean?
I mean that you're to get up now and come with me.
What's wrong with you? You look strange.
Oh, it's just the candlelight. Get up now. There's something I have to show you. Something about the house I forgot to mention.
Well, that's all very good, but I think I'll stay here now.
Get up.
It's dark in the house, and I've just come off of a nasty fall. I'd hate to have another.
Get up.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. If there's something you need to show me. Can you tell me what it is?
You already know.
That's not true.
Isn't it? Cynthia, tell me, where did you and I sign the papers for this house?
At your office, of course.
Really? Where is my office?
It's there in the village.
Why are you trying so hard? You can't tell me where my office is because you've never been there. You telephoned from your father's old house, and the secretary mailed you everything.
I don't understand. Your office.
Well, then what does it look like? What plants have I? What paintings are on the wall? There's a man there with a rather vulgar calendar in his cubicle. You surely would have noticed that.
I'm sure I don't notice such things.
Don't be silly. It's all you do notice. Come on up the stairs with me.
All right.
You noticed vulgarity and nastiness all around you, Cynthia. The world is just a revolving cesspool to you. Your father felt the same way. That's why he taught you how to rise above it all, to feel superior, how to lose yourself to so much piety that you never even open an eye to a human being around you.
You did not know my father.
I don't need to know him. I can see what he wrought.
Well, we're at the top of the stairs.
Yes, we are. The top of the stairs in your new house. The house that you knew all about from the very first look. The very first time you walked up the front steps. You could smell it, couldn't you?
I don't know what.
No games. You came alone. I was waiting for you on the porch. When you found me there ready to show you the house, you only questioned it for a second. Then you just went along. When the Reverend appeared one day, asking to speak to you, you could see it in him, too. But you didn't question it. You just went along.
You were always very good for going along, weren't you, Cynthia?
Reverend, what are you doing here?
Me? I never left.
None of us ever left, Cynthia. We've been around the entire time you've been here.
Even when you ignored us.
We've never been gone.
That's ridiculous. You work in a little office by a square. And you, Reverend, you live retired in the village and are interested in local history.
I'm interested in local history.
What's going on? What's this about?
Did you ever have one like her in your church?
Certainly. One so certain that she knew what was said that she never bothered to read the book. Rather like me.
It's time, Cynthia.
What?
You've played your games long enough. You're not walking through the valley of the shadow of death. You moved right in. You smelled death in this house and you just laid right down and made yourself a home.
I don't understand.
Still? You don't? You don't know why you're here?
No.
Then turn around and look.
I told you to get out of my house. Why didn't you listen? Why?
You're not real.
I told you to leave. Now you have to stay. You have to stay forever.
No! Father! Help!
Are you all right, Cynthia?
That was a nasty fall.
Yes. Yes, I think I am.
Let us help you up. There. Better.
My ankle.
What about it?
It feels better. It feels perfect.
The kitchen, Cynthia. That's your place now. Go to the kitchen.
The kitchen?
Yes, just as I have the front porch.
And I have the hall.
And Mr. Rose has the upstairs. He and his rocking chair.
You're to go to the kitchen. We knew that was your place from the very beginning, didn't we, Margaret?
Oh, yes.
I suppose I could go and bake something.
You do that, dear.
Don't look back, Cynthia. It's better if you don't look back.
Why can't I?
Don't. Just don't. We'll take care of everything out here.
She doesn't look very peaceful lying there, does she?
None of us ever do.
So, you can see, Father, it's a beautiful old house, but troubled.
Oh, not Father, Miss Jane. I'm no priest. I'm just a regular minister.
I'm just glad I found someone to listen to me. I've owned this house for 6 months, and I can't even spend a night here.
There are problems. I can sense that much.
What do you recommend?
Well, prayer, of course. A prayer vigil. We can organize it at church, 30 people praying here around the clock. I know Father Donnelly down the parish. I can ask him to come along if it'd make you feel better.
I guess.
He's a good man, Donnelly. Powerful, strange beliefs, some of those Catholics, but Donnelly's a good man.
That's all it will take?
Now, if it is within God's plan, child, that you live in this house, then you will live here. But you have to be prepared for the possibility that the place is uninhabitable. If the souls you've seen and heard can be put to rest in preparation for the great judgment, then all to the glory of God. But some souls don't understand that, just as some people don't. Is someone in the kitchen?
No, that's her.
That's one of them right there?
She's the hateful one. You can almost feel her when you go into the kitchen. I've seen the woman on the porch and the man in the clerical color in the downstairs hall, and I've heard the rocking chair upstairs, but she's the worst.
Now, get that hate out of your voice. Whoever she is, she's suffering.
What can we do?
Just come away now. Come away and pray for her, child. Pray for her. This has been the Icebox Radio Theater's production of The Dunes. Jeffrey Adams played Mr. Rose and Reverend Pierce.
Ayla Nordrum as Margaret.
Leanne Leightonen as Cynthia.
Linda Faith as Jane.
Marion Irwin as Jeff.
And I'm Dave Irwin. I was the Reverend.
Our sound engineer was John Faith. Sound effects by Linda Faith and Jeffrey Adams. Allow us a moment to reset. We're going to go ahead with the Laser Beam Show. It's really cool.
All right, dear. This is where you heard him?
Yes. Is it really necessary to come back up here?
We have to locate the bounder. He chooses a different room in the building every time. And I have to face him if I'm to get him to return home.
So you've faced him?
Of course. All the time. We even played chess for a while until he accused me of cheating.
Because they told me you couldn't see him. Or, that is, if you did see him...
Oh, yes. The part of the story where people die.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry about it, my dear. It's largely exaggerated.
Largely?
I'm fairly sure it was an accident, most times.
Oh.
Hey, Doc. Got the gear.
Excellent!
Where do you want it?
My back to the door, close by. You never can be too sure with Rudiger, the bounder.
What are you going to do?
You are as white as a sheet, my dear. You really should retreat before we begin.
No, I'm okay. I want to see this.
Are you sure?
Oh, forgot the long extension cord. Be back in a jiff.
Just a moment.
Excuse me?
I want there... He's gone. I just didn't want to say this in front of Cody, but I kind of accused him of hazing me today. And I want to be supportive.
Supportive of what?
The ghost hunt. Truth is, I want to be a million miles away from here. But I want... The thing is, I don't know what I want.
You want to see beyond the veil to the misty beyond.
And show Cody I'm not a chicken, yes.
Well, whatever your reason, I think it's very brave of you.
Thank you. I don't feel brave.
There's nothing to worry about. I'll be here the whole time to make sure everyone's physically all right.
Good. It is kind of comforting knowing that there's a doctor present.
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Dr. Graves?
Yes, Cody?
I need to go over some calibrations with you right after I set up the equipment.
Very well.
I'll just... shoot.
What is it?
I left an ohms table at the desk downstairs. Jennifer, would you run and get it so I can get started on this?
Sure, of course. Back in a second.
My, she was in a hurry.
Quiet. Just a second. Okay. Dr. Graves, I have a confession to make.
Well, what is it, dear boy?
Rudiger's not here. I'm staging this whole haunt to test Jennifer.
So, this is a hazing. Cody, that girl is frightened out of her wits.
I sincerely doubt that.
No, we were talking just now, and
You don't understand. She's not who she appears to be. I think she's a spy for the FCC.
Really?
Yes. We're an unlicensed station. I think they're going to try to shut us down.
So, Rudiger isn't here?
No.
Strange. I haven't seen him around lately.
I set up micro speakers in the attic, creaked some floorboards, and convinced Jennifer the place was haunted.
And what do you hope to accomplish, dear boy? Do you want to scare her away like a villain in a Scooby-Doo cartoon?
If I can scare her bad enough, maybe she'll tell her FCC cronies to leave us alone.
That is the least thought-out plan I've heard in my life.
Just play along, please.
Well, oh, fine. But only in deference to my friendship with your grandfather.
Thank you.
Found it. It was actually in your desk drawer.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Well, I think we're set up, Doctor.
Yes, set up.
What are you going to do again?
Dr. Graves is going to try and contact Rudiger and bring him home.
Oh, are you a medium?
No, I'm his landlord.
Here's the mic.
Thank you. Test. 1, 2. Oh, that's lovely.
Cool. I think we're ready here.
So, what are we doing?
Recording audio, video, electromagnetic fields, standard ghost hunting stuff.
Is the ghost really going to come?
Always has before.
Rudiger Van Houten.
Shh, here we go.
Rudiger Van Houten. We in the land of the living call upon you. Return, Rudiger. Leave this radio station in peace. Cody, do you think that's enough?
What? I don't know what you mean.
It's just, I feel so silly knowing that...
Knowing what? There's nothing to know, nothing at all.
What's going on?
Nothing. I said nothing.
You're acting weird.
Yes, he is. And there's a very good reason.
Doctor!
Cody, this is ridiculous. Tell the poor girl the truth. She's scared out of her wits, and there's no reason to be.
What?
There it is!
Cody?
I'm not doing this. I don't have video projection.
Oh, then what?
I am just tethered enough. This opera house is mine. I claim it as payment for my lifetime of torment, and as soon as the Dark Lord gives it to me, I claim your life.
Doctor? Dr. Graves?
Where did he go?
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is very bad.
He's gone. Dr. Graves just disappeared into thin air. What happened?
I faked the footsteps and the screams earlier.
That's why Dr. Graves disappeared?
No, I just thought I'd try being honest with you.
Why?
Confession time. We're all going to be dead soon.
This has been Radio Icebox, Season 1, Episode 3, To Catch a Ghost, written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Your cast included good old Jeff as JJ, Cody Boyer played Cody, Scotta Turner was Jennifer, Ayla McIntosh played Abby, and our special guest star this evening was Doug Screef, who portrayed Dr. Graves. Your sound effects director was Dave Irwin. Post-production by Jeffrey Adams. Tonight's radio play was The Dunes by Jeff Adams, originally recorded before a live audience on October 29th, 2005. Tonight's song was Green Pastures from Slewgrass, the family bluegrass band of Birchdale, Minnesota. Learn more about them at their website, slewgrass.com. This program copyright 2015 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved. This activity is made possible in part by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, thanks to appropriations from the Minnesota State Legislature's General and Arts and Cultural Heritage Funds.